So you know that feeling when you've got a sentence translated perfectly in your head? You're feeling super confident because, hey, you know all the grammar rules. But then you actually say it out loud, and it just sounds kind of off. Or maybe a native speaker gives you that slightly funny look. It's incredibly frustrating, right? You're doing the math, but the equation just isn't adding up to native level fluency. Well, welcome to this explainer. Today, we're going to dive into an absolute masterclass on sounding completely natural. We can fix that translation trap once and for all by exploring three incredibly powerful verbs together: set, catch, and break.
All right, here's our roadmap for today. First, 1, the secret to native English. Then 2, mastering set. 3, mastering catch. And 4, mastering break. After that, 5, tricky verb comparisons. And 6, final review and challenge. Let's get right into it.
Section 1, the secret to native English fluency. I totally get the frustration of learning vocabulary word by word. You learn a noun, you learn a verb, and you just assume you can plug them together however you want. But word-for-word literal translation is actually the enemy of fluency. It's exactly why you might feel stuck. The secret isn't just knowing more words, it's knowing which words actually like to hang out together. The magic key we're uncovering today is called a collocation. Basically, these are just words that naturally go together in English, acting as a single chunk of meaning. Native speakers don't really think about individual words, you know? They think in these chunks. Once you start learning words this way, your English becomes instantly smoother and you stop making those slightly embarrassing mistakes. These are going to be your new secret weapons. Section 2, mastering set collocations. Let's look at this super common but honestly often misused verb, set. Usually carries this idea of preparing something, establishing something, or putting something into a specific state. I want you to visualize these scenes with me for a second. When you set the table, picture yourself carefully placing the plates and glasses down before dinner. Or when you set a goal, visualize defining a target right on a dartboard. You can set rules for a classroom, set an example for a younger sibling, or set a date for a big event. Notice how all of these involve establishing something for the future? Now, here's a classic trap we see learners fall into all the time. You might be thinking, well, I'm putting the alarm time into my phone, so it makes logical sense to say, I put an alarm. Actually, scratch that. Instead of putting an alarm, a native speaker will almost always say, set an alarm. It's just an automatic chunk. Just like you're establishing a rule, you're establishing a time to wake up. So set an alarm. Okay, now it's your turn. As a leader, you must always blank a good example for your team. Go ahead and pause the explainer right now. Think about our chunks and choose the correct collocation to fill in that blank. Did you get it? The answer is set. As a leader, you must always set a good example for your team. Awesome job. Section 3, mastering catch collocations. We're pivoting now to our next incredibly versatile verb. Let's paint some pictures in our minds again. Catch often implies capturing something that's moving, quick, or maybe a little unexpected. Picture yourself running frantically down the street with your backpack bouncing everywhere just to catch the bus. Or imagine you're in a crowded room and suddenly you catch a glimpse of your favorite celebrity walking by. Just a quick, exciting look. You can catch someone's attention by waving your hands, or something can even catch fire if it suddenly bursts into flames. It's fast and it's active. And here's another incredibly common mistake. If you're feeling sick, literal translation kind of tells you you're receiving a sickness, right? So a lot of learners say, I get a cold. And honestly, I completely understand why you'd say that. It makes complete logical sense. But, well, language isn't always perfectly logical. You caught those germs as they were flying by, so we always use catch a cold. Time to test yourself again. I haven't seen you in months. We definitely need to blank up this weekend. Pause the explainer, think about those chunks, and fill in the blank. So if you guessed catch, you absolutely hit the nail on the head. We definitely need to catch up this weekend. You are doing brilliant. Let's keep it up. Section 4, mastering break collocations. Let's move to our final core verb, which carries a ton of emotional and practical weight in English. Break isn't just about, smashing a window. It's about interrupting or ending a state. Think of the heavy emotional weight of breaking someone's heart. You're ending a relationship. Contrast that with the wonderful social relief of breaking the ice at an awkward party by telling a funny joke and ending the silence. You can break a promise, break a habit like biting your nails, or break a record at the Olympics by absolutely shattering the previous time. Notice how break completely changes the tone of a sentence? A learner might say, I need to tell the news. But a native speaker, they use break the news. Why? Because breaking the news implies you're delivering really important, often surprising or sensitive information. You're literally breaking their normal state of being with this new update.
Let's do another quick check. He tried to quit smoking, but it is incredibly hard to blank a habit. Pause the explainer and choose the correct word. You got it. It's break. It is incredibly hard to break a habit. And hey, don't worry if these feel a little tricky to remember at first. It's like a giant puzzle, and the more you visualize these chunks, the more automatic they're going to become. Section 5. Tricky verb comparisons. Clearing the confusion.
We have covered our 3 main verbs, so let's ascend to the peak here and clear up some similar words that constantly cause a little trouble. Let's look at set versus put. You put a physical book down on a desk. It's just a location. But you set a date or set a goal. It's an abstract establishment. Now look at catch versus get. You get an item from the store, but remember, you catch an illness or you catch a moving bus. Catch always has that element of speed or unexpectedness to it. This next set really highlights the finer nuances of English. Break versus damage. You damage a physical phone by dropping it, but you break an abstract record. What about catch up versus meet up? Meeting up is pretty general. You can meet up with a complete stranger. But catching up implies a shared past. You're updating each other on your lives. And finally, the clear opposites. Break the rules means violating them, while follow the rules means you're obeying them. Section 6, Final Review and Challenge. Huge congratulations to you for making it this far. Let's gear up for our final empowering review. Let's organize everything into distinct families of words. Take a mental screenshot of this matrix right here. Under set, we have establishing things, set rules, set a trap, set a goal. Under catch, we have the fast or unexpected, catch fire, catch attention, catch a break. And under break, we have interrupting a state, break the ice, break a promise, break down. Just try to cement these visual chunks right in your mind. All right, here is your final challenge, part 1. 2 blanks this time. She needed to blank an alarm so she wouldn't miss the chance to blank the bus. Pause the explainer and test out your new secret weapons. Okay, let's see how you did. She needed to set an alarm so she wouldn't miss the chance to catch the bus. Beautifully done. See how the context of establishing a time pairs perfectly with set, and that fast-moving vehicle pairs with catch? Context is absolutely everything. One last test. It's hard to blank the ice, but once you do, you can finally blank up with new friends. Pause the explainer one last time and fill in those blanks. The answer is, it's hard to break the ice, but once you do, you can finally catch up with new friends. If you got that, you are officially thinking in English chunks. Absolutely no way around it. That's huge. Let's move to our final thought here. You now have this whole arsenal of natural, native-sounding phrases at your disposal. But the key to true mastery is taking them off the screen and into your real life. So I leave you with this question. What new collocation will you use today to sound more like a native speaker? Are you going to set a goal, break a habit, go out there, trust your new knowledge, and just start speaking with total confidence? Thanks so much for joining me on this explainer, and keep on learning.